Hey guys, Zerkaa here, and welcome back to my Millwall Career Mode series, which I'm straight into this episode, back into the transfer window. And you can see here, I'm offering Cragno, the goalkeeper, a contract because my 250,000 bid was accepted for him, even though he is currently valued at 550,000. So if we get him, that's going to be a $300,000 bargain, or 300. We got him like £300,000 cheaper than he actually is valued at. So it's obviously going to be great if we actually manage to sign him, and it gives us a second goalkeeper to work with. Whether or not Cragno will be in the first team or Spires will be in the first team is undecided yet. As you can then see here, Napoli replied to my counter offer that I sent for David Edwards of 10 million, which is obviously never going to be accepted. And again, FC Schalke replied about my counter offer for Wallison. Again, didn't want to accept that. Colorado Rapids actually accepted my 250,000 bid that I put in for Marvel Win. I'm told by you guys it's Win and not Wine, so I'm going to go with Win from now on. And if it's not Win, then whatever, you guys told me to say Win. I see here, talks between Danny Shitter and Dagenham have broken down. And some of you guys have found it quite amusing that Mill actually have players called Danny Shittu and Dami Shitter. And yes, that is actually true. That is actually the case in real life. And Napoli also put in a bid for Wallison, and I gave them the same counter offer that I gave to everyone else other than Man United. I gave them the 10 million, and obviously no one was really going to accept it. If they did, have been great, but no one actually looks like they're going to do so. You can see here, Cragno rejected my contract. He said he didn't really want to relocate and he enjoyed where he lived, but he could be persuaded. Therefore, all we need to do was either bump up his actual wages, like the amount of he's actually getting paid, maybe give him some bonuses, or possibly just give him a higher squad role than he has currently got. So I bumped up to important first team player. I'm not sure what I had him at before. It might have been sporadic. So we put him to important first team player, and I put him up to 2,750 opposed to the 2,250 that he had requested for. And then got a reply against from Napoli saying they wasn't going to bid for Wallison and not going to bid 10 million. Now I flicked through that squad report there really quickly. If any of you guys want to see the players that you think maybe you can pause it, I don't know, but I didn't really think about it when I was going through. I didn't really think, I need to show these guys what it actually is and go through it slowly. And just showing you my squad ranking at the moment as well, showing you how my players kind of line up form wise. You see here Wallison is running away with it with an 8.2. Romeo Vidal is also out there. Romeo Vidal is just a great player, and as I said, I've said it so many times, whether or not we're going to be able to get him is still going to be a mystery. Going into a game for the FA Cup against Sheffield Wednesday. Now, I'm pretty sure Sheffield Wednesday are still in the Championship, but I may be wrong. They may have got relegated last season. I'm not too sure. Anyway, going to the 20th minute in this game, and straight away, Wallison nearly does a nice little chip there, but that hits the crossbar and bounces straight back into the goalkeeper's hand, unluckily for us. We then move into the 23rd minute, and again, Wallison gets played through, goes past the defender, and then puts it into the top corner. And this time, he doesn't miss, and that makes it 1-0, 25 minutes in, and as I've always said, as soon as you've scored your first goal, the game becomes a lot easier, and you need to just capitalise on that like kind of form or that momentum that EA have given you due to the goal that you've obviously just scored. And we go into 25th minute, 2 minutes later after actually scoring, and Romeo Vidal shows off his pace, breaks through, and scores easily. And that's just what he's best at. Just give him the ball, give him a nice through ball, and let him run onto it, and it is lethal. And here, Wallison judges where the ball's going to go. It's only 6 minutes. It's only 6 minutes after I actually made it 2-0. After I made it 3-0, Wallison judged where the defender was going to go and tackled and made it 3-0. And then go into the 33rd minute. Only 2 minutes after that goal was scored, Romeo Vidal does a nice little LTRT dribble, gets past the defender, breaks through, and then this time finesses it opposed to slamming it in. And that made it 4-0, only 35 minutes in, and that's Romeo Vidal's 15th goal in all competitions. And you can see here is now the 47th minute, second half, and we make it 5-0, and the ball kind of just bounced around, and luckily Weston got his foot onto it, and then put the shot away into the bottom corner to make it 5-0. We then move into the 72nd minute. We hadn't really had any chances in that final 20 minutes, and luckily for Sheffield Wednesday, they managed to pull a goal back, probably only a consolation goal, but it definitely was a lifeline for them. Obviously, Liverpool wasn't going to be able to make 5 goals back, and I just killed him off of that. That was just a crazy goal. Let's watch the replay on that one. It's a nice little tee up by Romeo Vidal, and Wallison does a, was it Di Canio? Basically, we call it a Di Canio kick, because that's whenever I see a shot like that, I think of Di Canio. And nice bit of skill there from Sheffield Wednesday winger, and he crosses it in, and then Pecknick gets on the end of that to make it 6-2, and that game then ended 6-2, and that's a great win for us. So Wallison picking up 4 goals, and Vidal picking up 2, and they are proving to be a lethal partnership, and that puts us through to the next round of the FA Cup. As you can see here, I've managed to agree personal terms with Marvel Win, and he is now signing for us, and that is I think that's a good signing for us. We needed another solid defender. most of his stats aren't exactly that good, but I think his acceleration and sprint speed are just crazy. And in my eyes, that was enough for me just to sign him, purely because I think put him up against a fast striker, and then he can contain that person himself because he can just literally keep up with them, and it kind of cuts off that whole counter attack. Just purely because you have like a defender who's just crazy on the sprint wise. Craig rejected that contract offer again, so I gave him a new one. We also then got a transfer offer for Rakon from Middlesbrough. It's only for 200,000. He's currently valued at 275,000, but he is 29 years old. But I put a counter in of £50,000 more than they actually offered to 250,000, and hopefully they'll accept that one because he's a player that we want to offload. We go into our next game against Arsenal in the Capital One Cup semi-final, and you see they got Zerkaa on the bench, and that looks like the only signing they've made. Let me go through their team. Yeah, that looks like the only big signing they've actually made. They have Shamak actually on the bench. So this is going to be a very tough game for me, and if I can get through, actually make it into the Capital One Cup final, and obviously the board would be delighted with me if I manage to do that. And this is exactly why we signed Wine or Win. Even look at that pace. He just got literally ran the whole wing from the box, run from box to box, and still sprinting. But unfortunately, no one was able to get underneath that cross there, and that chance went to waste. And I probably just wasted a lot of his stamina, to be honest. But in the 40th minute, Romero does a nice stop and turn and plots it. What does even slots it was the word I was looking for there, and plots it, that's weird. Romero slots that into the bottom corner to make it 1-0, nice stop and turn there, and then slams it in. Yeah, there you go, bottom corner, and 1-0 up against Arsenal. Now, I don't know, do you think this was my downfall against Arsenal? Because I kind of got very comfortable, and not comfortable, but I wasn't sweating as much. I was just sitting back, and I was just like feeling very comfortable with my 1-0. And they punished me, and I managed to pull that back to make it 1-0. I was like lunging in my tackles, and that's not what I needed to do. I needed to contain against them. And again, look, just lunging in my tackles there, and then he made it 2-1 there. But luckily for me, that ball was cleared out. You go to the 80th minute, and bad mistake from me. And unfortunately for them, they didn't actually manage to capitalise on that, and they hit the post. And then from that resulting counter-attack that I had there, Romero picks up the ball, turns the defender, and uses his pace to get past everyone. And 9 times out of 10 that would have gone in, and the time when it actually wanted to go in, or not the time when he actually needed it to go in, he misses, and that stayed 1-1. We go into the 87th minute, and Andre Santos puts in a ball to Trevino. Trevino gets down and headers it and makes it 2-1, and that was just heartbreaking, because I'd held on so long for that game. I was obviously 1-0 up at one point as well. I'd held on to the 1-1 for so long, and just to lose it like that wasn't good. But one thing I didn't actually realise at the time was Capital One Cup semi-finals are actually 2 legs, and I completely forgot about that. So luckily I actually have another chance to get through to the final. Obviously I now have the home fixture, so hopefully that would be my advantage more than that game, because I was obviously away at that game. And see that Middlesbrough accepted my counter offer and are willing to pursue him for 250,000, so they're now going to do personal terms with him. And you see here, Cragno finally accepted my contract offer, so now I have signed a second goalkeeper. So now I have both Spires and Cragno, 2 young goalkeepers who apparently have a lots of potential. And it's also obviously always good as well, because it now puts competition, so I can now choose which goalkeeper I want to play. If one's not playing too well recently, and I can put the other one in, opposed to only having one goalkeeper. Obviously it minimises that risk. Obviously if one of them gets injured, I now actually have a backup one, where before I didn't actually have a backup goalkeeper whatsoever. So obviously now I now do. You see there, we're lying in 3rd place, and I'm now going to send out my scout on a new scouting mission. Obviously he come back from his 3-month one that he did in England, and I decided that I was thinking about going and sending him back to England, but I then changed my mind, and I decided that I would go for a Brazilian scouting search, but obviously because I currently have Piazon and Wallison, and obviously there's got 2 Brazilian players, and Gabriel as well, and there's 2 Brazilian players obviously in my team, and I was looking for some more Brazilians to add. Obviously they always have that flair, they're more likely to have skill moves and stuff. But that is the end of today's episode, and if you enjoyed it, then please leave a like as always, and if you have any feedback to give, then leave a comment. Also, there is a annotation on screen right now with a link to my new Millwall series. It's an Ultimate Team series. So if you want to click that, you can, but I don't think annotations are actually working at the moment, so you may have to click a link in the description instead. So if you do want to check that out, check the description, or if the annotations working, then click that, and I shall see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.